Well, hello there, friends. Welcome back to ReddX Trace Amounts of Science. Today, just a little bit more r/NeckbeardStories. Just a little bit more. There's only maybe a few thousand that we haven't read quite yet, but we'll get through it eventually. And I hope you guys are still enjoying the ride. I do appreciate you being here. Let's go ahead. It's just some one-offs today, so let's see what the randomizer hands us first, shall we? As we get into our first part, a tale from the trenches. Or not first part, first story. So I'll start off with the disclaimers. Lurked for a while, this is my first post. English is my native language and I'm not on mobile, so I guess no excuses for grammatical errors. Yeah, except fuck you, I don't care. Just say it. Say it right up front. I respect you more for it. The basic background is that I do historic reenactment as a hobby, and so often spend my weekends out in fields, etc., dressed as a historic solicitor. Soldier. At one of these events a while back, I met my first wild neckbeard. The characters are as follows: OP, a private for the display that we are portraying, and your storyteller. Sarge, a fellow reenactor with years of experience in the hobby, and is a squad leader for the event. Basically organizes setup of display and coordination of our group in the display battle. Neckbeard, of course, is the neckbeard of our story. Thinks he's a history buff. Ticks most of the neckbeard boxes. Poorly kept neckbeard, greasy long hair, bad odor, rather rotund, cargo trousers, faded t-shirt with stains, and also the t-shirt was too small. Okay, that's the external appearance, but I want to crawl around in his mind. Already I'm getting a little vibe of Flintlock Beard. You remember that? That saga that went fucking tits up? Like, that OP wrote the story, got featured on the channel, everything, and then, like, a month later, he's sending pantsless toilet selfies to people in the Discord. My god, what a mess. Yeah, there's a few other people in this story scattered about the scene, but they play little to no role in the actual story. The story! For the event, the group that I'm in was portraying the US 82nd Airborne near the end of World War II. This is relevant to the story. Well, it starts at the start of the show, I guess. Sarge has set us to work, setting up our display area to look like the front line. So there's some foxholes and small trenches which had been dug in the days leading up to the event. I was tasked with grabbing some items from the camp, so off I go. I'm following the path out of the woods to our camp in the open field. As I get to the edge of the woods, I encounter our beardy historian. As I walk out, he makes eye contact with me. He immediately beelines towards me, as if trying to beat the closing doors of a tube train. Yeah, eye contact, that's amateur hour right there. I don't know why you would ever do that. You're from the 82nd Airborne display, aren't ya? Neckbeard exclaims, as if triumphantly, and before I can get a word out, he carries on. I do because I can see the side. Referring to the patch on my arm, which, yeah, he was correct about. Yeah, we're down that way, just through the forest, I say, trying to politely get away so I can finish grabbing the kit for the setup. He cuts in on the end, saying, "Oh, well, where's all your stuff?" His tone was a mixture of smug and accusing. What do you mean? I asked. You haven't got a gun or bullets or bags, he splutters. Oh yeah, it's down there. I gotta get some stuff, I reply, pointing again to our display and shuffling away a bit. I continue by saying, sorry, I really gotta go. I'll be back in a bit if you want to head down there. There's plenty to see. He sorta huffs and then turns and walks away down the path to our display, and I go and pick up the stuff. Well, does that mean he's fucking going or not? If you're gonna go, don't be an asshole. I'd just like to remind you of that. I returned to the display a few minutes later to see Neckbeard stood over one of the foxholes, yammering away to no one in particular about something. Couldn't make out what he was saying. As I get near, he sees me and stops. He comes over and blocks my path while I have a deactivated machine gun over my shoulder, in a cover, and the tripod in my hand. What's that? He says, looking at my shoulder. I can only assume that most of the other people didn't offer him much conversation. Yeah, I'm busy digging a fucking hole. How about you let me get on with it, huh? OP says, well, give me 30 seconds and you could see, I say, because the machine gun's pretty heavy and I don't really want to have to put it down. He eyes me up suspiciously and I have to ask to pass by. He lets me pass by him and I go to the foxhole and put the tripod down, unbag the rest, and set it up on the tripod. Oh, cool. An MG42, Neckbeard shouts with an excited tone, replacing the smug one from earlier. No, this is the Browning M1919, I respond, correcting him, which seems to have been the wrong thing to do. Yeah, how dare you, OP? Don't tell me the correct thing, just agree with what I said. Neckbeard looks around to see if anyone noticed his mistake, and there's only a couple, along with the other reenactors, but this is enough for his embarrassment. He's going red. As I go back to cleaning the metalwork and adjusting some sandbags, he suddenly starts spouting off a torrent of stuff about this and that and other loosely based on history things and the World War II time frame and a load of historical myths and falsehoods. I wasn't paying too much attention. His verbal diarrhea subsides after about a minute, and I look up. All the others were badly hiding grins and stifling laughter. He half turns away and then sneers, The 101st is better than the 82nd. E Company of the 101st Airborne Division was the main focus of the HBO TV series Band of Brothers. I give a nod as if to say, right. Kinda shocked how he had reduced the history of these units into something akin to choosing a team in a video game. He finishes his turn and waddles away. I didn't see him for the rest of that event. Sarge came over after and told me that I handled the whole thing rather well, and not to be put off by people who think they know better, etc., etc. So all in all, I guess it kinda all fizzled out in the end. However, these events seem to be a meeting ground for neckbeard types. He wasn't the first, and I doubt he will be the last. Except he was the last. That's the last story OP wrote. I checked. But yeah, it's always fun to see a neckbeard get a little comeuppance, you know? Let me just correct you on a normal thing. And you've attached your ego to it because you're so small in your personal life that you can't possibly stand or fathom the idea of being wrong about a fucking machine gun that nobody remembers. You've attached so much meaning, not even to the thing, just your knowledge of the thing, which is incorrect, and that shatters your worldview. It's fucking, that's crazy to me, man. I could just be like, oh, thank you for correcting me. I must have had it wrong because why ever you had it wrong. I don't know. Fucking machine guns. Not exactly the heater of a story that I would hope for, but it's definitely a good one to get us off the grounds. I'll save the gubbins for later, and we'll see what the randomizer brings us next, shall we? Our next story, simply titled Beard in Church. Which, as you know, as staunch euphoric atheists, that's probably not the place they want to be. So hilarity ensues. Cats list. A list of all my cats, dude. That's gonna be so long. You don't want to know. Cast list is OP. Normal, 18 female, agnostic college student. Parents, slightly neurotic, 58 male and female Catholics, and neckbeard, thusly known as Neil, because, I don't know his name. And he sorta looks like a Neil. Mid-20s, wears a Carl Sagan shirt because edge. Carl Sagan. Why does he talk like Kermit the Frog? Carl Sagan. It's just like, that's how you do the best impressions. You just say the name at the beginning and the end. And then everybody gets it. It's amazing. Do you know who that impression was? It was Carl Sagan. And the commenter who made that guess? That's right. His name was Albert Einstein. I'm in a funky mood today. So yeah. The location is a large Catholic church, everybody. So parent units, being the strict Catholics that they are, make me go to church. I don't like church, but they feed me, so I kinda owe them. Yeah, a few hours, fucking once a week, come on. Anyway, we take our spot on the pew, church bench. Yeah, just in case you're uninitiated. And we kneel down to do the premeditative prayer. As I'm staring at my nails, I hear a slightly louder, nasally voice. Mom, why do you even go here? It's not like the magical sky beast can hear you, Neil says. Please be quiet, sweetie, his older mother replied. Yes, Neil is here for the same reasons as OP, because mommy still feeds him. But I mean, can't you see that you don't get anything out of praying? It's not like the more you kneel, the more heaven points you get. You don't know that. He stares back at an elderly man behind him who's kneeling, and the old man politely ignores him. Before the mom can respond, announcements are called for what songs we'll be singing today, and what page in the choir book they'll be in. Neckbeard's fully turned around, but he's shaking his head. All's quiet for a hot minute, and I even start to forget about Neil. The priest gives us his usual spiel about kindness and love and whatnot. Next, the church recites this prayer that begins, I believe in one God, the Father and the Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. Neil clenches his fists, gives an overly cheesy chuckle to show the normies how silly their prayers are. He's gonna teach us all, you guys. Thus converting all 900 people in the church into atheists. Instead of saying, I believe in the Father Almighty, he goes, I don't believe in a God Almighty. Doing a poor parody of the original prayer that Weird Al would be completely disgusted by. Isn't Weird Al Jewish? I think it's fine. A few people are annoyed, but he is ignored the same way that you would ignore one of the children crying. Essentially, yeah. Can we send Neil off to the nursery? Probably not the best idea. I don't want to put Neil around the kids. That's going to open up a whole... Let's not. Anyway, next, everyone goes up to get the bread, which is supposed to represent the body of Christ for the uninitiated. Neil makes a dramatic sigh and puts his mozzarella cheese-like body onto the pew, almost laying down to let people pass. Note that you are supposed to go up. Even if you can't have or don't want the bread, you could still get a blessing. Yes, the compulsory blessing. I gotta ask you honestly, Neil, can't you see that you're an embarrassment to your mother? Like, people are embarrassed on your behalf because you don't have the social awareness enough to be embarrassed for yourself. I think that's really concerning. Neil also stares at the butt of every woman that passes him. Not mine, though, because my ass is as flat as an Iowa cornfield. Oh, lucky you. Or because I was staring intently at him with a look of, I hope, conveyed pity and possibly disdain. It probably just looked like I was staring, though, and he looked away quickly and stopped laying down on the pew. Yeah, a little social pressure, that'll work. A little bit later, the priest makes the closing announcements. He encourages everyone to donate to the youth ministry in any way they can for their upcoming volunteer trip. Neil said quiet/loudly, typical church behavior, trying to take more money from people who need it. A few patrons shift their positions angrily. The youth ministry is a bunch of teenagers who give up a week to go to the poorest parts of the state and renovate the houses of the elderly, or build wheelchair ramps for the disabled, or clean up parks for kids to play in. This is well known, and nobody in their right mind would diss a bunch of teenagers for trying to help a community in need. I've done trips with them too. Every cent goes toward equipment, and whatever's left over is given to a local food pantry in that county. Yeah, of course, Neil doesn't know this because he's not fucking involved with any of it. Church concludes, much to the relief of everybody near Neil, especially his poor mother. Oh my god. But she's gotta take him home, back to her house. Oh my god. I do feel the worst for that woman. This is a waste of time, Neil concludes to his mother. As they leave, a few oldsters murmur about how unruly people his age are. I may not agree with the religion, but I do believe in common respect and decency in a public place. Fuck neckbeards who think that this kind of thing is okay to do in public. Yeah, absolutely. Nailed it down, OP. You don't have to be all in on the thing, but like, why not check it out? Why not support the people you love doing the thing that they love to do? Or something like that. Neil's just there for the worst reasons, and even more than that, he's making a spectacle of it. How can he not see? How can he not see how fucking embarrassing this should be for him? But he's just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, man, I guess that's a way you could go, but probably not the best choice. Well, let's toss to the Gubbins and see what they think about this thing.
Oh, Neil, the only man who could make both atheists and Catholics pray for silence. He's not a rebel, he's just a wet sock that learned how to talk. Neil struts into church like he's gonna own the Christians but can't even own a belt. The only thing Neil converted that day was oxygen into disappointment. Gubbins.
Oxygen into disappointment's good. Owning a belt feels like a dad joke. I sort of like that. What do you got for me, Dark One?
Neil is not a man. He's a half-cooled thought wearing human clothes. He mistakes disrespect for individuality, mistaking noise for rebellion and smugness for intellect. He wields atheism not as a philosophy, but as a shield to hide the hollow beneath his ribs. He mocks faith, because faith reminds him of something he'll never have. Conviction that isn't borrowed from YouTube debates. Dark Gubbins.
That boy ain't never had an original thought in his life. He saw a SJW owned video back in 2016. He's like, I'm gonna make that shit my whole personality forever. Okay, Neil, you're so exhausting to be around. Again, I feel terrible for his poor mother. But it is a juicy one. We're turning up the heat slowly but surely. Let's hit the randomizer one more time and see what it brings us. Our next story title, Do You Want to Go to France? Wow, randomizer. Not really. Not currently. France a few decades ago, perhaps. Cast of characters, OP, female senior uni student, decently attractive, bestie, blonde, cute BFF. Sassy, also a senior uni student. Man friend, bestie's male friend visiting from rival uni. And creeptastic, chubby pale kid, probably 24-ish, fedora wearer, scraggly scruff, creeping down his face at neck. Even a 24, man? Hasn't it developed into more than scruff? The scene is a hipster hookah lounge with bar just off campus. Bestie and I practically live there. Hell yeah, lung cancer. I'm about it. Enter myself, bestie, and man friend getting a few drinks. Casual but busy Thursday night, waiting for the hookah to be prepped. What, do you gotta fucking put hot coals on top? It's a lot of preparation. I guess they gotta stuff the stupid thing first, put tinfoil on top, and poke the little hole. It's so easy to do it yourself. Why are you paying this much for the hookah bar? You like the hookah bar that much? Just buy a fucking hookah. What? I'm getting off in the weeds already. Man, friend, and bestie are into their own conversation, so I end up striking up a conversation with a rando next to me, who turns out to be creeptastic. Damn. I mean, you chose this, although you didn't know. You didn't know what you were choosing. The fedora should have tipped you off, though, probably. He turns out to be a Navy contractor or some shit, so we talk for a bit and exchange numbers, because I'm a pretty open person. And when our hookah arrives, I tell him, okay, bye. And we sit at a tiny corner table. Yeah, 3 chairs. No more, no less. He follows, pulls up a chair to this table. Oh, damn. He brought his own chair. We didn't consider that. I had fucking poor I didn't know there was other chairs available. Just drag around. Whatever. So he pulls up a chair to this table, which is not meant for 4, and he starts smoking our hookah without asking. Did nobody say anything? Yeah. Fuck, come on in, buddy. Well, okay, we're pretty friendly people, so we let him join in. No, that's reinforcing his sense of entitlement. What you gotta do is call it out then and there. Be like, hey, that weird shit that you're doing, you wanna chip in for the hookah at the very least? To see if you could get him to back down with the money. Then when he offers the money, be like, actually, we don't even want you here. No matter how much money you give me, I don't want to hang out with you. So yeah, 10 minutes of chatter later, Creeptastic says, "So I asked a random girl to go to France with me. Do you think she'd go?" And proceeds to stare directly at OP. OP says, no? Because I don't know you? I think it's presumptuous to assume he's talking about you. He said a random girl. This is a complete hypothetical, isn't it, OP? Isn't it? It's not. OP says, well, no, because I don't know you. Creeptastic says, what if I paid, bestie? We do have school, you know. And then we sit through a 15-minute conversation about why a random girl would not want to go to France with a stranger. Of course, Creeptastic has the complete inability to see himself as any sort of risk to anyone because he's such a nice guy, and how any girl that would accept his offer should expect him to make moves and acquiesce to said moves. So yeah, clearly, nice guy. It's such a bad look, dude. Like, just accept the no and move on. We don't have to unpack it all and turn it into this really horrible thing. But he just can't help himself. I think he's just excited to be included in something. OP says, look, thanks for thinking of me, but I'm not interested. Are you random girl? Did he point at you when he said random girl? I'm a little confused about how you inferred all that. But I guess she's correct because Creeptastic responds, but why? I'm so nice. Why do girls not like me? What should I do differently? Well, fucking develop your personality and stop with the simping. It's pretty simple if you really want me to lay it down. Bestie says, honestly, the best thing you could do right now is just leave. Man interjects and basically verbally strong arms him away, and Creeptastic slinks off. Cool. Well, good. Yeah, shout out man friend, I guess, since he couldn't accept a no from the lady. Why is that? That's the weirdest thing in the world. Is it because you know I'm liable to punch you? Like, are you just scared of getting punched? It's not that bad. Like, yeah, it sucks in the moment, but I don't know. Give it a minute and you'll be fine. Anyway, we enjoy about 2 hours of hookah and getting a buzz worked up, decide that the hookah's cashed, and head out to pub down the road to keep drunk going on. Yeah, that's some college student shit, isn't it? 20 minutes and a pint or two later, I'm going to use the bathroom. It's not very crowded, and it's dark, so I almost miss him, but Creeptastic is sitting there with some empty beer glasses. Dude, what the fuck? Like, he's not in the bathroom, right? Because that part's confusing. He's in the bar and you saw him on your way to the bathroom? I infer that. He is just staring dead at me. He followed us. It wasn't busy, so we would have seen him when he came in. Yeah, except for the fact that you fucking didn't. I suddenly forget my bathroom need and point him out. Cue 10-minute staring contest between Creeptastic and Man Friend. What the fuck is that? Just go over and say something. Hey, what the fuck are you doing here, buddy? Thought I told you to get lost. You know? Then maybe somebody gets punched. Oh well. A minute later, you'll feel fine. OP says, thank God, finally. Creeptastic throws some money down, pulls that dumb fedora down over his frickin' face, and leaves, mumbling under his breath to himself. I did get a text message later that night, to which I let Bestie go at it. I was drunk. TLDR, get asked to France by a bar neckbeard, decline. He complains about girls never liking the nice guy and follows us when we bar hop. Edit, immigrant link fix. Oh yeah, we want to see those text screep caps, as OP calls them. There's 4 of them, links exposed, so we know that they're safe. We'll go take a look. So this guy saved in her phone as 3 French flags and like an arms crossed emoji, which is hilarious to me. He asks, do you care that best friend hates me? If not, would you like to join me for a drink afterwards? And she says, I would rather lick an AIDS-infested penis. Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't think... Can you catch it through the mouth stuff? Maybe if you got an open sore in your mouth. You gotta be careful. I got bleeding gums all the fucking time. Can't be playing with that. Oh my god, that's funny. He says, is that you talking or Bestie? I suppose it makes no difference. She says she's not taking your drink. That is all. Yeah, nor anything else that you have to offer, just to be very clear. He says, can we make peace? I see no reason for this kind of hostility. No, I don't think we can. I've told you off quite firmly and you didn't listen. That's hostile to me. OP says, no, make new friends. Creep says, never said to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. What does that even mean? Like a European thing I don't understand. I'm a dumb American. You gotta bring it down a couple levels for me. OP says, bite me, you little prick. I love the savagery in the text messages. Really, I think I like text messages more than the stories themselves these days. He says, some lies make you larger. Some lies make you small. The lies you tell yourself are the most potent of them all. Oh, dude, you gotta listen now. He rhymes like a fucking leprechaun or something. You don't know what he's capable of if he's got those rhyming powers. And Opie says, yes, and the lie I'm telling right now is go away. Nobody wants it or needs it. Yeah, we were all better off long before you came along, okay? No offense meant, at least not the first time, but then you clearly can't see a line in the sand. So I'll have to, make it a little more clear. Maybe with landmines, I don't know. Is there a difference between what you think and what Bestie thinks? No need to reply. But beware, or people who would presume to speak for you. She says, sorry, still no. He doesn't even know who he's talking to. Like, at what point did you think you made a good impression on this girl, that she was actually into you? You were clearly brushed off by the entire group. On some level, I admire your inexplicable ability to not read the room and walk up to a group of 3 people who don't want you there and start smoking their hookah. But on the other hand, like, seriously, what the fuck is wrong with you? Take a look around, okay? You're desperate, you offer nothing. Aside from like a vague trip to France, which is never gonna happen. And if it does, well then he put himself into a load of debt for it, because he's clearly not like worth anything or established as a human being. So now you're just a simping loser with a load of debt, and still she didn't want to do anything with you. Like, as soon as the questions came out about like, yeah, I'll take the trip to France, but would I have to do anything for it? And he's like, well, yeah, of course you would. We knew this was like dead in the water. Delete the number. Like, even if you got the number early on, just it's no good to you now. This is fucking Stonewall Jackson, and you did it to yourself. You did it to your fucking self! I can't save you. I can't help with this. What a wild ride. Gubbinses, what's your take on all this?
Simplord wants to whisk woman away to France in an effort to try and distract her from the fact that it's very clear he's hollow inside. There's nobody in there that's worth getting to know, and that goes doubly in France. It's the city of love. She'll probably meet a nice French Somali to whisk her off her feet and be happier than ever. Gubbins.
French Somali? Is that... Okay, fine. Dark one, go.
Women are attracted to men who carry an air of confidence, immediately throwing everything you've ever earned at her feet in an attempt to eventually one day sniff her socks doesn't exactly exude the sort of confidence we're looking for. We appreciate your interest, but we've decided to go with other options. Basically, any other option. Even forever alone. Dark Gubbins.
Nice. Clinical. I thought we were going a weird Dan Schneider direction with the sniffer socks thing, but I'm glad we ended at clinical. That's clean. I appreciate you guys watching. Join them on Patreon, YouTube memberships, all that shit. I'd appreciate it so much. iTunes, Spotify, we're still going strong out there. And fourth wall for the merch. Hey, yeah, we probably should put some new designs up or something. Waifu Pilled is coming. I've been working on my game quite a little bit recently, and you can wishlist that on Steam. Amazon affiliate links. Fuck, we got so many links in the description. I'm losing track of it all. Probably you are too, but it's fine. I'm out there on the internet, suffice to say, and I'm glad you are too, friends. Always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye.